Hello, and welcome once again to Yoga for Kids and Their Adults. My name is Tony. I'm here at MeTime LLC, a massage and yoga studio here in Troy, Alabama. This program is brought to you and sponsored in part by the Charles Henderson Child Health Center. They are a pediatric physician and dental office taking care of children from birth to age 19. They fund this through a grant that they received from the Children's Trust Fund, whose purpose is to prevent child abuse and neglect. So, welcome once again. We've been getting at the wiggles, and here we are, October. And October is many things. It's a spooktacular month where frights and fears get confronted face to face. It's also an awareness month, and there is awareness of cinnamon rolls, there's awareness of hot dogs, and there's also awareness for breast cancer. And that's where this shirt comes from. It's More Than Pink from the Susan G. Komen Foundation. They're on the back here. And this month we are dedicating a nice donation to the Susan G. Komen Foundation to help them fund their research and all their good works towards eliminating breast cancer. So I thought if we're going through all of this breast cancer awareness, we should probably focus some yoga on our breast cancer awareness as well. Now, one of the things that comes to mind every time I hear about October and pink and breast cancer awareness is the warrior. So we're going to be doing a lot of the different warrior poses today in support of people who are suffering from or have suffered from breast cancer. So, if you have a loved one or a friend or family member who's also suffered from this, you can dedicate your practice today to them. So, go ahead and look around your area. Make sure that you have enough space to move around. You might not need a yoga mat today if you have a nice solid floor. If you feel like you do need something under your feet, you can use a yoga mat, you can use a towel, a blanket, anything that keeps your feet from sliding further apart. Okay? You also need enough space so that you're not going to accidentally smack into the people next to you. So once you have that, and it shouldn't take very long, just a minute or two, just kind of clear your space and set your intention. And today, your intention is to be the warrior. Wonderful. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and assume our mountain pose. That's with our feet under our hips, our knees bent just a little bit so that they come out over our arches, our shoulders over our hips, our head up high, ears over the shoulders, arms down to your side. And give a nice, strong mountain pose. Do you remember how to activate all the muscles in this? All right, let's start at the bottom and work our way up. So at the bottom, at your feet, I want you to lift your toes, spread them wide and far as you can, push them down into the ground, and then pull them up towards you. In this way, you're actually kind of holding on to the ground with your feet. It's a very strong anchor, which is wonderful for a good, strong mountain pose. All right, it activates all the muscles of your lower legs, your ankles, and your feet. And just mountain pose itself activates your thighs and your hips by bending your knees and tucking your tails under. Okay, as you tuck your hips under, you're going to feel your abdominal muscles, your little lower belly muscles engage. So they're working too. So if you breathe in and stretch long, stretch your neck and spine long, you're going to feel everything up and down your back engage. So you've activated everything from your shoulders down so far. So with your shoulders, bring it back and down. Keep them away from your ears. We don't want them swallowing your head up. Bring them down and back. Arms active at your side. I'm not saying you're like Mr. Roboto here. Just nice and strong. Let your hands just be straight. Okay? This is our active mountain pose. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of work, isn't it? Wonderful. Now let's remember, we breathe in as we go up away from the ground. We breathe out as we come down towards the ground. So let's practice that. Let's just bring our hands up to the sky and down to the sides, okay? So inhale, bring your hands up, pointing towards the sky. Make sure your shoulders don't swallow your head. Exhale, let your hands float down to your sides. Let's do that again. Inhale, bring your hands up, overhead. Aim right up towards the sky. Exhale, let your hands float on the breeze all the way down to your sides. One more time. Inhale all the way out towards the sky. Keep your shoulders down. This time as you exhale, try to bring your hands down to the ground in front of you. This gives you a nice forward fold. We're going to hold this for about 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. That's 1. Inhale. Exhale. That's 2. Inhale. Exhale. That's 3. Bend your knees. Bring your hands up at an angle. This is our chair pose, or our intense pose. Ooh, this is intense. Getting ready to be a warrior is very intense. And then inhale all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, let your hands float down to your sides. How you feeling? Are you feeling intense? Are you feeling like a warrior? You should, because you are absolutely a warrior. All right, so let's start by bringing our feet a little wider than shoulder width. And I want you to pick a side. I'm going to pick turning to my left first. You can pick left or right, as long as you remember you have to swap sides later. Okay? So we have a nice wide stance. We're turning our feet this way. Our back leg here is kind of out at an angle. Now, they're not lined up level with each other. You might want to step that back foot forward just to have some good stability there. And that way, you're not having to turn your foot completely out or trying to walk a tightrope over here. It's just kind of at a halfway point there. Okay, now we're going to bend this front knee. Careful not to let it go over our arches here. In fact, try to keep your knee right above your heel. Okay? So we have our hips facing forward, our toes facing whichever direction you picked, and we're going to sit down into this pose. Can you feel how strong that makes you feel here in your hips? It's amazing. Now, let's lift our arms level with the ground, head up tall and over that front hand, and you are in, can you remember the name of this pose? Warrior 2. That's excellent. You guys are really getting the hang of this. This is amazing. So now, with our Warrior 2, you can feel the strength over here. You can feel a stretch on our inner thigh there. You can feel your shoulders and your neck giving a good work here. All right, now let's drop your back arm, flip your front palm so it faces the sky, and bring it all the way up. Bringing your back to a little arch in this nice little reverse warrior. Very good. Every warrior needs its opposite, and this is a reverse warrior or opposing warrior. Excellent. One more breath, and then cartwheel your hands back level to the ground. And look over that front hand. Ready? Wonderful. So this is back to Warrior 2. This was reverse warrior, Warrior 2. Let's bring your back hand. Turn both palms so that they face the front, and bring that back hand over to your front hand. All right? Bring those hands up overhead, spread them out, and you are in Warrior 1. Excellent. From here, again, 3 breaths in each posture here. Exhale, bring your hands down to the ground. And we've gone from warrior to lunge. This is a wonderful stretch. How you doing with this? Can you hold yourself up? Wonderful. Go ahead and stand up back to Warrior 1. This is bringing your hands all the way back up, keeping that front knee engaged. And bring your hands back behind your back, leaning your head forward. This is our humble warrior. Our humble warrior. Very good. Last breath. Go ahead and release your hands. Bring your hands forward. And then up again to Warrior 2 or Warrior 1. And then turn back to the side or to the front and lower your hands back to Warrior 2. Okay, how you doing? Are you feeling those lower legs burn? Yeah. Go ahead and straighten out that front knee. Turn both toes to face the front. And let's stretch them out just a little bit by bending forward. Okay, if you can reach the ground, that is wonderful. If you can't reach the ground, no sweat. Just go down as far as you can. Enjoy this nice stretch. You should feel it right in the back of your thighs. And when you're ready, you're going to bend your knees, turning your toes out into the frog pose. Bring your hands up to prayer at heart center, and then stretch all the way up. All the way up. Excellent. And then exhale and let your hands float down to your sides. How you doing? Was that a wonderful warrior combination? I hope so, because we're going to do it on the other side now. So whichever side you picked first, we're going to go the opposite side. So I went to my left first, so I'm going to go to my right next. I'm going to hop that back foot forward. So towards your screen there, I'm going to bend that front knee, which is now my right knee. I'm not going to let it go over my heel because that would hurt my knee. We don't want knee injuries, do we? No, never. So if you need to, you can walk your feet a little further apart so you have no worries about passing your heel. Remember, your hips face your screen or forward. Your toes are facing that direction. The front one goes straight to that direction. The back one goes about halfway. All right. Good so far. Excellent. So your hips are facing forward. Your shoulders are facing forward. Your arms are coming up level to the ground. And you're going to look at your pointed toes hand. Ha-ha. How's that feel? Can you feel your legs working and your hips working? If not, see if you can tuck your hips under a little bit. You know how if a dog is scared, it tucks his tail under? Imagine that you are doing that same movement, tucking your tail. And that's going to engage your abdominal muscles and also your hip muscles, giving this a nice active quality to it. All right? So now we're going to drop our back hand, flip the front hand up so the palm is facing the sky, and then reach up over the sky. Reach up over. There's a nice little arch to your back, giving you a nice little stretch. Your bent knee leg is still working. Your straight leg is still working. You're still getting a nice stretch. And then we're going to cartwheel our hands back level to the ground. Wonderful. That was amazing. You guys are excellent warriors. So we went from warrior 2 to reverse warrior, back to warrior 2. Now we are going to, do you remember? Bring our back hand all the way up to the front hand, to the toe pointing hand. All right, we've done a nice big clap. We're bringing our hands up overhead and parting them in a warrior 1. Remember, keep that front knee bent. We don't need to straighten them in the middle there. Okay, excellent. Go ahead and bring those hands, exhale down all the way to the ground in our nice little runner's lunge. Because you know, most warriors have to be able to run really, really far and really, really fast. So it helps if they can stretch. All right, one more breath. And then we're going to inhale, bringing our hands up overhead again. Whew. Exhale as we open up our hands. Back to warrior 2. This time we're going to bend our front elbow. Bring it down to the knee. Bring our back hand up to the sky. So not quite our humble warrior, but more of like an extended side angle stretch. It's a companion. Go ahead and cartwheel back up to our wonderful warrior 2. Turn your toes back to the front. Exhale, bring your hands down to the ground, or at least as close as you can get them. Not everybody's body works the same way, and that is wonderful. It's a marvelous bit of variety, and variations and variety keep things interesting. Once we've had our 3 breaths here, go ahead and bend your knees, bringing your toes out. Bring your hands up to heart center at prayer. And then inhale, go all the way up to the top, reaching up towards the sky. And then exhale and let your hands float down to your side. Ooh, we had some variety in there. And that is amazing. Go ahead and walk your feet in. Back to your active mountain pose. Can you do that? Remember, splay your toes, push them down, pull them in, grip the ground. In your mind, imagine you're a bat hanging on the roof of a cave, and that your toes scrunching up like that is the only thing keeping you from falling off of the ground. So that helps you keep a very active foot or active feet in our active mountain pose. Don't forget to keep a little bend in your knees so you don't lock them. Hips tucked under. This engages your abdomen. Shoulders back, head back. Arms stiff at your sides. How do you feel? Do you feel like a warrior? Go ahead and give yourself a nice little flex. Growl. I'm a warrior. Yeah. We can defeat anything, including breast cancer. Awesome. So now, let's go ahead and spread our feet wide. Spread our hands wide. Palms towards the front. Look straight ahead. And you are in star pose. You are a superstar warrior who can defeat any obstacle in your path. All right, so now we're going to incorporate this into our greatness pose. So if you bend your knees and bend your elbows, some people call this goddess pose, some people call this scrunched up star pose, whatever you like to call this. Just try to keep your back upright, your arms up and down, and then go to star. As you inhale, exhale, go back up to scrunched up star. So inhale, out to star. Exhale, scrunch it up. Inhale, to star. Exhale, scrunch it up. One more time. Inhale, to star. Exhale, scrunch it up. And now, to neutralize our spine from this, go ahead and bring your hands down to the ground and straighten up your knees as much as you can. This should be kind of feeling a little bit easier than it did the first couple times we did it. That's because we've had some practice. And while some people believe that practice makes perfect, my band director, when I was in high school, would disagree with you. He would say that perfect practice makes perfect. So, practice perfectly. When you're ready, bend your knees down into the frog pose. Do I have any frogs out there? Do we have a ribbit and a jump? Ribbit, 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 ribbit. Excellent. Now, bring yourself up to your hips. Bring your hands up to prayer at heart center. And then inhale all the way up to the sky. Exhale down to the ground. Woo! That was a big, big difference, wasn't it? So bring your knees out. Bring your hands up to heart center. Stretch all the way up with a nice big inhale. Exhale all the way down to the ground. Last time. Bend your knees out. Bring your hands up to heart center. Inhale all the way up. And this time just let your hands float to your sides. How you feeling? I'm feeling strong like a warrior. Are you? Awesome. So now let's go ahead and walk our feet in. And let's shake out our feet. We've been on our feet a good bit. We've had very active poses, and we're not really used to having our toes grasping at the ground the way that we have been. So go ahead and kick your feet out, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers if you want to, because we've had stiff hands as well. When you're ready, come back to your mountain pose. Just an easy mountain pose. Just let everything rest. It's almost time to start cooling down, isn't it? So what other things can you think of when you think of a warrior? The Superman pose. That's warrior 3. All right, you ready for this? Let's go ahead and get back to our warrior 2 pose. So our feet are a little bit wider than shoulder width. We're going to pick one side and then the other. Going to bring your toes out to one side. Bend that front knee. Bring your arms level to the ground and look over that front hand. All right. Doesn't quite look like Superman yet, does it? Go ahead and bring that back hand together. Palms facing down. And now you're going to push with your back leg. Push up and balance. And warrior 3. You might know this as Superman. Woo! Superman. Or woman, superwoman, super person. And then down, hands up, warrior 1, down to warrior 2, straighten up that leg, toes forward, hands to the ground. Nice forward fold. That was amazing. Are you ready for the other side? Good. Go ahead and bend your knees so that your toes point out. Hands at heart center at prayer. Inhale all the way up. Exhale. Bring your arms level with the ground. Turn these toes out to the side and bend that knee. You're in Warrior Two. So, again, this doesn't quite look like a Superman pose. So instead, bring your back hand all the way around and clap. Bring your hands up. Warrior One. And when you're ready, push off with that back leg and balance like Superman or Superwoman. And if you're super young, super kids. One more breath. And then back down. Arms up. Exhale, bring your hands out, level with the ground. Inhale. Exhale, straighten out your leg and bring your hands to the ground. Whew. We were warriors. Wonderful. So now, let's go ahead and bend our knees, pointing our toes out, getting into our frog pose. Bring our hands up to prayer at heart center and stretch all the way up as we inhale. Exhale, let the hands float to your sides. And now, let's sit down. So we had a lot of warriors today. We had Warrior 1, Warrior 2, Warrior 3, that's all the numbers. We had Reverse Warrior, Humble Warrior. We had a lunge, and we had an extended side bend. So that's a lot. Kind of gets your blood going, gets your mind going, gets you focused, gets your muscles kind of sore after a bit. Are you sore? I hope not. If so, continue to stretch, and that'll help cool you down. Now, I'm going to bring the soles of my feet together and hold on to my ankles. And this is called the bound angle because I'm binding my ankles. And my knees are making angles, so bound angle. Pretty cool. And this is where we're going to catch our breath and bring it down for just a moment to meditate. When you're ready, when you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. And I want you to focus on gratitude. Being thankful for friends and family who are healthy and happy and part of your lives. And I want you to also focus on being thankful for other people who also have friends and families. And if you have not yet directly been affected by breast cancer, I want you to send out that love, that gratefulness to people who have. Whether it's someone who has breast cancer, someone who's related to someone with it, or someone whose friends, family, coworkers, associates, someone who knows someone with it. I want you to give them a hug. Imagine in your mind what it feels like to feel a hug. If it helps you, you can absolutely give yourself a hug. Wrap your arms around you. Give yourself a good squeeze. And just for good measure, put the opposite arm on top and give yourself another good squeeze. Say, I am grateful to have you here. I am grateful you are alive. And I am grateful you are on the planet. Go ahead, you can repeat that in your mind. I am grateful that you are here. I am grateful that you are alive. I am grateful that you are on this planet. Isn't that a warm, fuzzy feeling? It's amazing the feeling, the emotions that can come with giving yourself a hug or giving someone else a hug, or even just getting a hug from someone who really needed to get a hug from. So throughout the day, and even in the days to come, I want you to keep in mind that even though you might not know someone's story or know a lot about them, everyone is struggling with something. whether it's breast cancer or the coronavirus or that test on Tuesday. We're all struggling with something. So it's important to be grateful and kind to everybody. I thank you very much for joining me today. Once again, my name is Tony. I'm here at MeTime LLC, a massage and yoga studio here in Troy, Alabama. This program is sponsored in part by the Charles Henderson Child Health Center. They are a pediatric physician and dental office taking care of children from birth to age 19. They fund this through a grant that they received from the Children's Trust Fund, whose purpose is to prevent child abuse and neglect. Once again, I am grateful for you, all of you. I'm grateful that you are alive and healthy. I am grateful that you are here in my life. And I am grateful you are here on this planet making a difference. Remember to be kind to yourself and others. Until we meet again, go in peace. Namaste.